Ji. Thank you for the welcoming me here. And I take this opportunity to thank my friend, Mr. Deen Dayal Ji for inviting me here. Last time I was here the first time, this is the second time I'm here. Some people I find common here, of course, and it's a pleasure. Of course, greetings for the Ganesh Chaturthi also today that we have. We've been here since morning talking about a concept of technology taking over financial part, and Virendra just talked about the healthcare part. I'll continue on with whatever he said about, and might be some repeat is there, but I'll try to tell you exactly how healthcare will be impacted by this technology. And it's really new. It's going to. I didn't know about this till Mr. Rupendra invited me over to Deen Dayal's office to give me a talk, and I read about the blockchain technology and how it's going to adapt to our healthcare. If you remember, let's take a small a story type of thing or a play that we do. Is it can you blow it up? Can you blow up these slides? Pura kar sakte hain usko? Yeah. So, is it evolutionary or is it revolutionary? That is the thing. What I would say is technology is always evolutionary. You always evolve with time. Similarly, man is evolved from apes. We all know that. So if you give an ape, right? If you give a monkey some money or some bananas, what is he going to take? Bananas. If you give a human being some money or bananas, what is he going to take? No, you have an option, you see. Life is all about options in life, right? Either you take your money or you take the food, right? You always prefer the money. Why? Because you have brains. With that money, you can buy food, you can buy health, you can buy anything that you want. Bananas will only give you one time. Okay? So that is how man has evolved from apes, and we keep on evolving. And that is how technology also evolves. Again, if you remember, when you go to a hospital or to a doctor, previously or 40 years back, what you should do? Just go to him, get an OPD card made in the hospital or wherever it is. It's all done manually. And then you show to the doctor, he gives you some prescriptions, you go again, okay? You wait for the line, gives an investigation on an X-ray. What has changed this 50 years or 40 years? It's all electronically done now. That's called the electronic health records. Each hospital, each doctor keeps that. If you get an investigation, a blood test, then also, you can go home and check on your internet. That is the beauty of technology, the EHR. And this blockchain will be the next revolution or the evolution from where we are into a domain of healthcare also. That's the institute I come from, the LHMC, and as Nelson Mandela rightly said, we can change the world and make it a better place. It is in our hands to make a difference. Of course, it's all a question of choice, attitudes, as Virendra also said. So that is what I will cover type of what is blockchain, healthcare challenges, drawbacks, and applications and experiences. Healthcare is poised for a new economy. As we are learning from the morning itself, that it's always a financial transactions. I differ here. As we said, health is much more important than wealth also. You can create that wealth if you've got health properly. And none other times better than the COVID times to teach us that health is more important than wealth. And that is why we always maintain that wear a mask, maintain physical distancing, don't maintain a social distancing. Socially, you have to be interactive. You have to be in connection with people around. Okay? But maintain the physical distancing and of course, wash your hands as ever, always. So it's going to change the patient, provider and payer transactions. Now these three people are very important in healthcare. The patient, the doctor and the insurer who pays your bills. Okay? And to get this around, three things again are important. The rights of the patient. The patient has got certain rights. All his reports are with a person, a doctor or the investigating pathology lab or the X-ray lab. So all his reports are as confidential things to take. Now they should not be leaked. Similarly, the provider, the doctor, as we are, when we see a patient, the first thing that we want from the patient is he has to tell me everything. If he doesn't tell me everything, I cannot treat him properly. And if that happens, or there's a miscommunication there, then there's a problem and the law takes over. If I try to hide something from him, for my surgeries, complications, I try to hide, I don't give a proper option to operate or the treatment plan, he will sue me. And if he has not given me the proper, his history, whether he is smoking or using tobacco or he has a hypertension or diabetes, and my surgery suffers, then again the problem comes in. So that is why we have a consent. Whenever you go to a hospital for a surgery or something, the first thing that you do is consent. And that is the same thing you do when you go to a bank and open an account. You give a consent to it. So consent is very important between the doctor and the patient there. Without that consent, without that contract happening, there is no relationship between the provider and the patient. And similarly, the payer also comes in nowadays, the insurer comes in. Now all these records go back to the insurer. Now again the patient's rights are there that these records from the insurer are not leaked out to the third party. And that is what happens. That is why your phone number goes there and you get calls from insurance companies or banks and everybody impinging on your rights of confidentiality. So what has changed? The challenges. What are challenges in this healthcare system that was always going on? It was all based on human errors. As we talked about, whether the patient is hiding any information from the doctor or the doctor is hiding some amount of treatment plans he doesn't want to disclose to the patient, or some reflections on his healthcare which he doesn't want to disclose to the patient. And that is the challenge, whether it is due to security of the health records, whether it is due to pharmaceutical supply of any drugs in that chain happening, or is it due to any other information that is there. So this needs to be maintained in a healthy relationship, a communication happening between the provider and that. And that is because we always, doctors, take a Hippocratic oath when we get our degree that we will do, first thing, we will not hide anything from the patient. And always the service will be before ourselves. We will not, the COVID times, again, the COVID times, best example, you found doctors coming in front and treating patients without any protocols there. We didn't have any N95s, we didn't have any PP gadgets there, and patients were coming in and we treated them. So that is the beauty about the healthcare. So how this concept comes into the blockchain or a Bitcoin concept? Because it is all about trust happening, the trust. The trust is what? The Bitcoin, as Satoshi Nakamoto, he invented that Bitcoin concept, the blockchain, right? And why did he do that? Because the trust was not there. If you were giving, initially you were giving a check, the check bounced, or a duplicate check was given, or some other document was given false, and the bank honored it, or a transaction which was given already through a Paytm thing. So then the sufferer was the person who had given that authority or that signature over receiving that. So that trust was not there. So he got that cryptographic proof there, which made that when the person was giving something to the other person, he signs that, yes, it is his authority that he's giving and receiving something in exchange or in that contract that is between the two. Similarly, when you come to healthcare, okay, this is the blockchain. I think everybody knows what is the blockchain. I don't think I should go through that. Just to tell you, it's a database thing which is more distributed than a centralized one. It's distributed. Everybody has that controls on it. Everybody can see to that ledger at the same time. There is no third party involved there. And of course, and just to be transparent, so everybody can see that it is highly secure because it cannot be immuted there. It cannot be changed when it is given. Normally you can create, edit, cut, paste, everything. In here only you create and you come out. There is nothing else. You cannot delete something. You cannot write over something on that. And the last is, it is immutable, as I said. So what are the challenges here? Now technology challenge would be, you want something which is more distributed there. It should not be centralized like a bank there or an authority of DDA or an MCD type of thing. No hospital should be there as one go, because you might go to one hospital, tomorrow you might be transferred, or you might want a second opinion, you go to a different hospital, again the same test would be done at that place to get over. So if you have a uniform hospital chain there or a blockchain concept where you get an opinion of one doctor, all your reports and that blockchain. So once you go to the second hospital or the second doctor, what it does is basically opens up your account, you sign in there as a public key, and you can see all your records from the back end, from your birth till today's time. What all treatments have you had? Which all drug allergies do you have? What all problems do you face? Everything, how much you are insured for, everything is seen there itself at one pitch of a button. So that is the beauty of a technology. Privacy is very important here, challenges wise. Maintaining privacy in the trust, as I said, the trust is very important, as was there in the bank and the person, or the DDA and yourself. Similarly, the trust between the service provider, the doctor, as well as the carer, the patient that is there. Funding of the business, how you incentivize the business, okay? Unless you provide some incentive to the person, he will not use a blockchain. So you will need to incentivize them, give him some extra bonuses on that Bitcoin concept, on the cryptocurrency. So that he has some amount of money which he can do something, transact around. So that is incentivize the funding of the business that is there in this blockchain model. And the other thing is inertia. Because already when a system is running, it's very difficult to come over and change that system. We are always accustomed to a system. Okay? We were accustomed to a system of workshops like this, sitting in a 5-star, talking over face to face, having a lunch and enjoying a tea. And when the corona happened, okay, the COVID happened, we all went on to a virtual platform. Did we like that system? We never liked that system. We were missing this. But we learned with time that that is the only best technology that we had in our hands at that time, which was useful to us. So similarly, it is difficult to change the old system, but yes, the attitude will do that in times to come when we find it is useful to us. So that is what the difference is. The first one that you see is a central server with the other people around it. The second one is more of an integrated or distributed ledger that is there, and that is what happens. The ledger is seen by all the patients, labs, hospitals, medication, insurance, specialty provider, public health physician, everybody or educational institutions also could be involved in this network. We see the 2020 breach barometer report. It says over 41 million patients' records were breached in 2022. Imagine the amount of records which were breached because of security issues there. 40 million, imagine. And WHO estimates that 30% of medicines in parts of Africa and Asia, that is including India, are counterfeit. So all your medicines also, when you get across the counter, could be counterfeit because there is no way to track these medicines, who is consuming what. You just take a doctor's prescription, you go to the pharmacist, what he does is, if it's a scheduled H drug, maximum will say is, okay, I want this prescription, copy of it, we will keep it there. If it is not, he'll give you over the counter. But he keeps that copy of that because the drug inspector might come and check it. Okay, with the blockchain concept coming up, every medicine would be on that chain, on that records. When he prescribes you one with your prescription, if you